Hail, hail, and welcome to a Celtic World North America. We are part of the YouTube channel of Celtic World that shows the worldwide reach of Celtic Football Club. On our show, we attempt to bring you the North American perspective on things that are happening at the club. Well, we missed last week because we had to cancel for technical issues. So we missed out on all the positivity after a big 3-0 win versus last at Celtic Park. Most of us probably went into last night feeling somewhat confident, but Celtic in Champions League qualifiers always comes up with new ways to fuck it up. And as awful and disastrous as last year was with Kairat, we somehow found a way to be even more embarrassing. So strap in for another Celtic therapy session. Looks like we lost Jason already. So let me introduce. First things first, Chris. Chris, how you doing?
Hell.
I'll get Jason back in.
I'm here.
And then we got Ben from Cayman Islands. Ben, welcome back. We had you on over the summer to talk about Scotland in the World Cup and that whole trip. So.
Yeah, I was really hoping tonight was going to be a real positive about all the players we'd be signing and all the ties, the glamour ties, but hey-ho.
Yeah. I did too. And especially when we set this up last week. So it was, and then particularly when McGregor gets an early goal, then you're really feeling good. But Jason from Columbus, Jason, you with us?
I am with you.
Man, we're all fucked up tonight. Jesus. I know we lost Chris too.
There we are.
Did the cat step on the laptop again?
The cat did not. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here. I'm glad to be with fellow travelers once their internet catches up with ours again. Just trying to get through this the best we can.
Yeah. All right. Now we got Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
All right, guys.
Much like Celtic.
This is turning into a shit show much like last night.
I've got no audio.
You got no audio? Okay. Chris, jump off and then try and get back on. We'll see if we can get you sorted. But let me throw up comments first from everybody in the chat. Hail, Brady from out in Wisconsin. We need to get Brady on one of these weeks. He's starting a new club out there, which is awesome. Hail, Milky Moo. Milky Moo's always with us. Oh, shit, there's my dog down here. Fuck. This is not going well. Then we got David. David, another one of our Columbus boys. So, so like I said, we had to feel pretty confident, going into everything. We didn't get a chance to talk about last week with how, 3-0 win in a Champions League qualifier, getting off to a start like that is great. And that's something we're not used to. Great goals. From two from Duran and Negrin. But that's what ends up, we're relying, I feel like, this season on those great goals, and we're not creating a lot of chances, and it kind of showed up again this yesterday. So, but I'll go to you first, Ben. Ben, how are you feeling confidence wise, I guess, going into yesterday?
I'll be honest, even though we had a 3-0 lead, I actually thought Lask played really well last week, so I knew it was going to be a tough game. And I was really nervous going into it. But then when Cal McGregor gets that early goal, you're thinking 4-0 up, an hour to go. Surely we can't fuck this up. And until Negrin plays that blind pass, I don't know what he was even attempting to do. Lask looked like they'd lost all belief. So if we'd got to halftime winning 1-0, I think we win the tie. But that moment of madness just gave them a little bit of hope, and then we just seemed to get so nervous we could barely string a pass together. And then I thought we ended the first half badly, and I thought, right, great, we're in at halftime. It's one each. We still got the 3-goal lead from last week. I would have taken that if you'd told me that would be the score at halftime. I'd have been like, okay, that's fine. But then as soon as they scored right after halftime, I just had this sinking feeling that it was just going to go wrong. It was like watching it in slow motion just go wrong. It was just painful. Yeah. And as soon as that guy scored in stoppage time at the end of the game and it went to extra time, there was only going to be one winner in extra time. And it wasn't going to be us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris, can you? Are you good now? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, dude, it's all right.
My audio was fucked.
I mean, were you confident going into yesterday? I know we chatted a little bit, and
yeah, I mean, you're up 3-0 going to the away leg, right? Up until yesterday, I would have thought that would be enough of a confidence booster just in itself. That like, hey, you're up 3-0 and you're going into the away leg. Like you don't have to get a winning result. You just have to not lose by 4 goals. And still, like, you know, it's kind of a blessing if I'm going to be honest, because you know we weren't on last week when we were so good, right? Like after last week, everybody was like, "We're winning the Champions League, man," and you know, I think that they're a 3-0 going into the second leg of a tie. You can't even trust that anymore. Like the positivity from last week and the negativity from this week cancel each other out 100%. Like we have regressed in the matter of a week from we have made great signings, we look competent, to oh my God, can you believe that second half? We didn't come back out in the second half. We just didn't. I mean, Ben said it perfectly. We looked scared. Cal McGregor even said it. We looked scared to play in that half. And I don't know what you can take from that other than we absolutely just shit the bed on this. Like there's no way around it. Like that was the most piss poor I've seen us play in years. That was Wilford Nancy that was out there. I mean, it was just that bad.
Yeah, you're right. I was talking to the guys beforehand, and I said that game reminded me of a little bit. I was probably worse of the Motherwell game at Fair Park last year with Nancy, where we just got played off the park by Motherwell, and we got played off the park by Lask pretty much over 2 legs. I mean, not as much in the first at Celtic Park, but that second half was, I mean, we just had nothing. And we can kind of go through it a little bit, but I don't even know like how much it's worth it. Like but like you said, like you're up 3-0 going into it, and you get that goal in it was 20 or so minutes from McGregor, and again, it was kind of a little bit of a fluke goal. It was a great chance that it would have probably gone straight at the keeper if the last defender didn't put a foot in and put it right in the goal. But at that point, you have to be, and I forget, Strangelove, 4-0 with an hour to play. And I've seen in some like stuff on Twitter and social media, Instagram, like, and we'll get to the board, I'm sure, and everything, and who's to blame for it all. But like at 4-0, at that point with 60 minutes to play, like, is it the board's fault that we did not get through? And we'll get to that later. But like, it's just a disastrous result. I'll go to you, like Jason. How did you guys? Were you able to get in to the CSE to watch in Columbus?
You know what? I'll tell you what. 12U girls hockey is a harsh mistress. So I started the match at home, and then hit the road after that. Sean, you said something very important, kind of in passing, about how Lask played well over both legs, and I think everybody forgets last week, those first 7 minutes, dude. This could have been a 3-3 draw last week. Now, listen, Durant, all 3 goals, screamers, beautiful, chef's kiss, all you want. But they lost 3-0 and didn't play terrible. And Milky Moon nailed it. You set up there. We were terrible up to 60, and then after 60 minutes, it was awful. And Ben, I think you alluded to that as well. And it was like, came out from halftime, scared. I don't know what was said, scared.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless, and there's, like I said, there's so much blame to go around, and
I think you blame everyone.
Ben, you mentioned Nygren, and that was like that.
Well, I'm not actually going to single out players in particular, because I don't think you can say anyone had a good night, to be honest. Some people were absolutely shocking last night, but nobody had a good game. Martin O'Neill has to take a lot of flack. The coaching team has to take a lot of flack. The players have to take a lot of flack, and the board have to take a lot of flack. It's a collective. The boards have failed to spend anything, really. We've spent money, but we've also brought in 30 million. So you spent 30 million, you brought in 30 million. We all knew going to the summer we needed to spend money to make sure we got into the Champions League. Our net spend zero. So as much as the signings that we've made, I like, the net spend is still zero, and you've still not replaced. We still need a midfield enforcer for European away games. You need that. You need someone along. Callum McGregor has played, I don't know how many games for Celtic now, and he's played seasons where he played for Scotland as well, and played 60, 70 games a season for season upon season upon season. That's why he retired from international duty. He doesn't have the legs anymore. He needs someone in there next to him to protect that back four and do his running for him. Much like the job Callum McGregor did next to Scott Brown for those years. You know what I mean? He did Brown's running, and then Brown was able to use his experience to read the game, do the dirty side of the game, break up play, make sure you stop attacks, be that person who maybe doesn't go forward gung-ho when everyone else goes forward and just sits back and kind of mops up. We don't have that. We've been crying out for that for a couple of seasons now, and that's one position that the board should have identified. Martin O'Neill, if it wasn't Martin O'Neill in the dugout last night, and because he is St. Martin, we are going through the manager today, because he got his changes wrong. He got the setup wrong from the off. We should have been shutting up shop and playing on the counter-attack all game. But we just went with the same team that went to go and score goals last week, and we didn't need to score goals. I don't understand why you've brought in a guy called Hassan, who is perfect for the counter-attack, and he stays on the bench, and people like Luke McCowan and all that get off the bench before him. Taneke gets off the bench before him. I mean, some of the decisions by Martin O'Neill, not good enough. And yeah, the players. I mean, Callum McGregor was really honest in his post-match. I don't know if you had a chance to see some of that. He was very honest. He said he thought 3-0 flattered us last week. It did, in all honesty. And we weren't good enough last night. And the harsh reality is some of those players, I think, after last week, thought they were better than they are. And yeah, it's come home to roost. They kept talking about in press conferences, we won't be complacent. Well, if that isn't complacency last night, then I don't know what is, to be honest.
It absolutely was. Like I mean, like you said, and you're 100% right about Martin O'Neill. Like it's I feel like saying it is like blasphemy, but Wilfred Nancy levels of just tactically incorrect setup.
Hoofing those long balls like, up front time and time and time again. It didn't work in the beginning. It didn't work in the middle. It didn't work in the end.
No, and that's not whose game. Like he might be a bit of a bigger guy, but if like that's never been his game. Like if you go back, and not that I've watched him, but just from talking to people who have watched him, that's not something he was. He's like more like a Kyogo, kind of like get on the end of balls, and like he doesn't touch the ball much during the game, but when he does, he scores goals.
Well, last week what they did well was they didn't go long to who, but they like hit him in that center circle space and then played off him and got up the park. I don't know why we changed that tactic last night. Why are we trying to hit channels and hit long balls up to him all night when you saw how well that worked last week? Why are we not just doing the same thing? I don't know. Like I said, it's a collective for me. It's players, coaching staff, manager has to take the flak. And to be fair to Martin O'Neill, he said afterwards he takes responsibility as well. So Martin O'Neill and Callum McGregor, I thought, spoke well. I mean, there's not much you can say after that. It's pretty humbling, to be fair. But at least they fronted up to it. And you could see Callum McGregor was really hurting when he was getting interviewed by Sky. Because I mean, I think we all saw the rumours this summer. I think he's been convinced to stay at Celtic because the club have promised him X, Y, and Z. But I think he was very close to going to Saudi and joining Brendan Rodgers in Saudi. And probably after last night is probably gone home and thought, I could be earning how much tax-free in Saudi instead of having to put up with this bullshit again. So, yeah. Honestly.
I mean, I'll give it out of anybody, and I mean, like we said, there's blame goes all around, and I don't think anybody had a particularly good game at all. But I think of anybody, you could probably say McGregor probably was our best player. I think he tried to kind of at times put the team on his back, and it just didn't happen. And it didn't work for him. But I don't know. It's like that, and like you said, it's impossible to go back and lay blame at any one person's feet. I mean, I know, and I have given McCowan a lot of heat over the last year, and I don't think I've ever seen a guy have as bad a performance as him yesterday. I mean, just constantly giving the ball away, in bad spots too, and some of them led to goals, and so you saw he's taking a lot of heat, and they said he deleted his Instagram because he was taking abuse on there. But so it's hard to we might have lost Jason again. Just the blame goes all the way around, like you said, Ben, and I don't even know where to start, in terms of how to fix it, because it's a devastating loss. It just sets the tone for the season.
If we're going to be brutally honest, if we'd somehow hung on and that goal doesn't go in stoppage time and we hang on and we sneak through to the Champions League, I would be worried at some of the shellackings we could have got from some better teams in the Champions League. Because if Lask are getting, 60 shots over 2 games against us, can you imagine what a real top European team's going to do to that Celtic side? We're not good enough to Champions League. That's it, full stop. And fair play to Lask. They stuck at it, and you've got to take your hat off to them. They could have really just chucked it after they went 4-0 down in the tie, but once they got a little bit of a sniff back in, they just went for it. And also hats off to their fans last night. That was a real classy touch with the banner that they had up, and the club reaching out to Celtic and asking to hold a minute's silence for the game. I mean, they've quite kind of won me over with that as well. As much as obviously disappointed with how it went, I'll keep an eye out for them this season, because I actually think that was super classy. I thought their fans were great at Celtic Park last week, and then obviously what they did last night, total class act. So fair play to them, and I hope they do well. But the reality for us is we're not a Champions League team. We're not.
No, we're not. But the only thing is, it just. I never thought we were a Champions League team. Let me get rid of this and get back to the. Oh shit.
Ooh.
We the only thing is, I feel like we would have invested more in this current side, and would have just made us probably pretty dominant, a lot more dominant in the league. And the frustrating part about it, try to get Jason in again. So I mean that was the most frustrating part about it for me, because they had you saw a few names, the big central midfielder from Torino, who's probably would have been a guy that would have been good for us, and Segur, from the Canadian guy, which, I mean, then you saw today some rumors are that we never really even put in an offer for him, which wouldn't be surprising, because if we're waiting.
Typical Celtic. Well, we're interested.
So.
We're very interested, but then do nothing. That's great. Yeah, fantastic.
Right. So I mean, I don't know. That's what I mean. I'll go to you, Chris. Where do we go from here? What is?
Well, and something else that I think we need to acknowledge, right, is that for, I don't know, consistency, right? We were not playing this past weekend, right? So that everybody could prepare to play in the Champions League on Tuesday. Okay. I think not playing on Saturday got us out of our rhythm. This was different. This was something that was set up. So, like, let's go back to last week, right? Ben, you said it earlier. We were very flattered by our performance last week. You know, winning 3-0 against a good last team. Whether we had to defend all night and they still didn't score a goal or not, like, everybody kind of put all that aside. Everybody's like, Duran brace, okay, you know, Negrin was a cracker of a goal. You know, emotions are riding high, right? And then you don't play on Saturday or Sunday. I would assume that they're training. You know, I assume that anytime that, you know, it's not, you know, time for kickoff or whatever, that like every day they're training and they're doing, you know, having team meetings and talking about strategy and how we're going to use Casper Ho to do this, and Duran's going to do this, and, you know, Sinisalo's going to throw it here. You're like, you know, normal footballing things, right? But when you don't have that game that you prepared for over the weekend, and you put all your effort into going away in Europe, and, you know, you have already created this pressure on yourself that you haven't let anybody else know about, right? And that's, like, honestly, that's what happened, I think, is that we fell in our own quicksand. You know, the first half, like, if you go back to last week, that first 15 minutes, Last put us on our back. I mean, we were caught flat-footed. We were slow. We couldn't pass the ball. You know, we were trying to hoof it over the top, like you said, to Who, and every single time, like, we couldn't do anything in that first 15 minutes. And then after we calmed down and we got settled and we played our game, you know, that's when you saw us score goals and we defended well. Everybody thought that we put in the performance that would have gotten us at least over the line, right? But go into this match, that first 15 minutes, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, that first barrage from their their striker up top. I don't know his name, but that cat had he was kicking the absolute dog shit out of that ball.
Big time.
And, you know, watching him do that and then not score, I'm like, okay, all right. So we learned our lesson from last week that we're going to sit back, we're going to defend, you know, whatever. But like somebody said, as soon as Negrin makes that errant pass, everything after that was just like a complete, you know, falling apart at the seams. I don't know how to do anything. McGregor's passing. Does he get good marks for me? In some spots, maybe. But he's slow, man. The entire team is slow when they need to be going faster. They needed that tempo, that pace. And because we didn't play at the weekend, I think that's what caught us by the time we got to halftime.
It's an interesting point, Chris, because it's so early in the season.
Yeah.
Guys need minutes in their legs. So, like, I understand I understand maybe thinking, okay, we'll just get the guys rested up and make sure they're really fresh. But maybe you do that once you're like a couple months into the season. These guys are still kind of working up their fitness. They need minutes on the pitch.
They don't understand themselves yet. Like,
exactly.
From a teammate.
There's new players playing together. They've only played a handful of games together. Like, I mean, what was it? St. Johnson we're meant to be playing. I mean, really, we could have played. We could have played our first team and then hooked a load of guys after 60 minutes. No offense, St. Johnson, but in the league, if we played like we had against Kilmarnock away, for example, and scored 3 or 4, and then you take guys off and you rest them for Tuesday. But at least you've got more minutes into them. They're getting used to playing with each other. To your point, Chris, Yeah, and maybe we've put so much pressure on that game and so much pressure on ourselves that as soon as Negrin does what he does, the guys start to feel it and they start to like go inside themselves, and that's what you saw. You saw people shrink on the pitch.
Yeah.
The only one who looked like he wanted the ball, by the way, when he came on was Tatai.
Yeah.
Like the only one who looked like he wanted the ball and wanted to try things when he came on the park was Tatai. And I think a couple of times he was getting frustrated with other players because I think they were hiding, to be perfectly honest. There was a mental fragility there that as soon as Negrin gave that goal away, a lot of people went in themselves. And there's going to be something else I'm going to say, and it's going to maybe upset a few Celtic fans. I think Carter Vickers long-term is not the solution.
He's not been the same since his injury, Ben. You've nailed it. I mean, he's big, he's strong. He's like Stan Vargas slow now. I mean,
so slow. A couple of times last night, it was frightening actually. And even in the first leg, there was a couple of times there was balls over the top, and you're like, oh my god, like he looks like he's towing a caravan. And I think the injuries have taken their toll. And you can maybe cruise through the SPL with Carter Vickers, and he'll be fine. See, when you're up against proper good teams with quick strikers like in Europe, I think he looks suspect. I mean, I saw a comment pop up when you guys were talking there. We've not invested in the defense at all.
No.
And it wasn't good. It wasn't good enough last year. And we needed to invest there. We've let people like Naroki go, who's playing for Lens in the French Super Cup and keeping a clean sheet against PSG with 10 men. Baffling. I always thought he was a good player. We've let Lager Bielka go in the last few seasons. He's playing for Sweden and for Braga every week and playing excellent. I mean, some of the decisions we made, and then we're keeping guys around like Dane Murray. Really? The guy's not 18 anymore. He's 20. What is he, 23, 24?
Yeah, and two tremendous knee surgeries coming off of there. So great. He's Scottish born. Congratulations. Yay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's the problem. You need those Scottish guys in Europe just to...
But they should be squad fillers. They should be coming off the bench.
No,
they're not good
you're
enough.
right, yeah.
You're no offense to Tony Ralston and Dane Murray and some of these guys. I'm sure they love the club. They want the best for Celtic. I'm sure they do, and they try their best, but they're just not good enough. That's reality.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they were put into the spot where they had to play last night because
our sixth sub in extra time. They're bringing on strikers trying to win the game, and we're chucking on Tony Ralston. Great.
Yeah, and Tony Ralston looks like he lost a step or two over the summer too.
I know.
He looked as slow as Carter Vickers.
The guy playing left wing had been playing for about 100 and something minutes at that point. He's still breezing past Tony Ralston. He's just come on fresh, and you're like, oh, we're in trouble. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, God.
Back to my point. Carter Vickers.
Where do we go from here?
Carter Vickers, he's not the answer. No. If people are looking at that and not thinking that we need to go and get another top centre half, because I mean he comes off injured again last night as well.
Yeah.
So you've got AJ who's turning into a bit of a sick note. Carter Vickers is turning into a bit of a sick note. You need to invest.
Yeah.
You need to invest in the defense, and we're not doing
it. And that's what my next question. I'll go to you, Jay. Like, is there like a fitness issue with the squad? I mean, you could go back to last season too, and then you put it to like Tierney. Tierney's rarely able to go 90 minutes. We don't have I mean, Scales plays left back for Republic of Ireland, and people go on that, but he's not a left back. I mean, and in a Celtic left back, at least a guy who's going to get up into the attack. I think he tries at times, and then it just I feel like it makes it worse for us almost. It looks worse. But like, is there an issue with our fitness? Like you like last night, just losing. We lost Johnston a couple weeks ago. Carter Vickers. I mean, just Donovan gets hurt. It's all on the back line too.
Back line being I hope a coincidence, but soft tissue injuries for Celtic over the past probably 5 years has been an ongoing problem. Everybody can point to chucking Johnston back in January before he should have come back. Yes, we're all aware of that. But we have seen these guys go down with hamstrings, with thighs, with things. These guys aren't blowing their knees out 3 ways from Sunday. These are players who are facing the same soft tissue injuries that are knocking us down. Yeah, and Sean, you brought up Tierney. You know, Tierney wasn't the same since we ran him into the ground and then sold him to Arsenal for 25. Still a hell of a player for 60 minutes, but he doesn't have 90 in those legs. I actually got a comment from somebody offline here who said CCB has been hesitant since coming back from injury, and there may be that he just doesn't want to risk getting re-injured anymore. But we have to look at this and say, what are we doing training wise, physiology wise? What are we doing that's not working for us?
Yeah, and for me, I thought Carter Vickers battled last night, and I saw a lot of people calling him out for wanting to come off, but I do think he was. I think if a guy like him wants to come off, he knows he has to come off. So there's that, but I don't know. There's
even from the start, Shawnee. If Trusty didn't train the day before the game, play Scales. He's obviously not fully fit. Right. Yeah. He's obviously not fully fit. Play Scales. That's why you've got Scales. Yeah. I actually, out of the two of them, people are going to butcher me for this, but I actually prefer Scales. I think Scales is better with the ball at his feet, and he's actually more of a robust centre back than Trusty. The second goal on the byline, Trusty just gets out muscled. He's trying to let the ball go out of play, and it's for me that doesn't happen to Scales there. I think Scales either just puts it into touch or goes for the fight with the guy. Do you know what I mean? And that
Trusty's more likely to go forward, and that's not what we needed. But you brought that up. You brought that up in the pre-chat. You brought that up earlier on. If we had played more defensive minded, put the big boy out there, let him break everything up. He's going to have that left side of the defense. We're not going to say locked down, but he's going to do it a lot better than Trusty. He's got that body. He's not afraid to put it to use.
Yeah. He might pick up a booking and have a rash tackle in him, but I think he's a stronger centre half. So, it's hindsight's 2020, right? I can understand Martin O'Neill going, well, we won 3-0 last week. I'm going to play the same team. But if he's really true to himself, there was a lot wrong with last week as well. 3-0 flattered us. It really did. Yeah. And it should have been a much more... I wouldn't have been that annoyed if we'd gone out with a 4-5-1 and just even Danilo up top on his own for pace up top instead of Ho, and just, pack the midfield with guys and just gone, you know what? You're not going to score 4 against us because we're 3-0 up and we're going to ruin the game. I mean, that's something Celtic don't do well. We play other European teams, right? When they've got a lead over us, they ruin the game. And it's not great to watch sometimes, and they fall on the floor and they waste time and all that sort of stuff. But we're not savvy enough in Europe compared to some of these teams, to be honest.
No, we never are. And it's a shame because, like you said, and I tend to agree with you, Ben, on the Trusty Scales thing. But those ones where our backs to the wall defending are the ones that Trusty usually is better in.
If he's fully fit.
Yeah.
He didn't train the day before the game. So why are you then throwing him in? There was obviously something not quite right. That just
goes back on Martin O'Neill and decision making and throwing out what the team he was putting out there. And like you said, if you're just relying on, all right, this is the 11 that did it last week, and I think they're going to do it again. But Trusty's a little banged up like that. Yeah, that's another just poor decision. And I don't know, Chris, I'll go to you. Maybe sticking an extra midfielder in there for just to start off the game, because I mean I'm tired of seeing Horvath, that their captain, just getting the ball within our half and running to our box almost multiple times. There's just so much space in midfield.
Right. Let's not also forget that we just got bullied off the ball. Every time that there was, a 50-50 ball or something to coming across that they were in our face with, they would win the ball. They took it to us. And just bullied us off the ball, and getting pushed around in Europe humbles you in a different way than getting beat domestically, right? If you get beat domestically by Motherwell, Hearts, the Huns, whoever, there's a back and forth, right? But when some team is really on it in Europe and knows that you can just be pushed over and you're going to give up the ball, they're just going to take advantage of it. Like, Ben said it perfectly. Like, we're just going to open them up for, taking advantage of it because we're not savvy enough in Europe. And that goes into the psyche of, what we're thinking going into the second leg when we're already up 3-0, right? So, like, there's all this, like, mind games that were going on behind the scenes, behind, some of the players not putting the performance in the beginning, like bringing another midfielder on to prevent that getting bullied off the ball. But somebody said earlier about Rio Hatate. I thought when Rio came on, I actually thought he looked pretty good, but I could tell that there was some hesitancy in him to actually, take a shot or make a risky pass or whatever, because I think he realizes that, like, he's fixing to be out the door. And he's like,
Right.
if they're not going to see me as I should be a part of this midfield, like, why should I give a shit? And, I'm just baffled to how we got to where we are with Rio Hatate. Like, how did he become? He was such a emotionally high player for us for years, and then all of a sudden, like, he doesn't even get in the squad at all. Like, what's the point of having a player of his caliber if you're not even going to give him a chance to be out there, and you're going to give, nothing against the new guy. Like, Mika Bauer, I love the way that he has. He's very tippy tappy with his feet, and he gets the ball out quick, the same way that Rio Hatate used to do. Whereas now, like, it's glued to his feet.
I was just looking at the match stats there because I wanted to raise a point to go back to me about spoiling the game. We had one booking last night.
Mm-hmm.
One booking. And it was an extra time when McCowan got caught on the ball and he clipped the guy in extra time. So, again, like, we needed to ruin that game last night and make it horrible to play in, stop start, not give them any momentum, take some yellow cards. Like, when people are breezing past you in midfield and they're right on your back four, that's when you clip someone and you take your deliberate yellow card. I mean, that's what you do. It's not nice. It's not the nice side of the game. It's not the pure form of the game, but that's what you need to do. You need to be more savvy. And yeah, one booking all night. Yeah.
I'm just going to, and just the next few comments I'm going to throw up are just all kind of the midfield, and it's true. And like like Chris said, I'd like Bauer. I think he's going to be good for us, but he's tiny. A small guy. He's tough, but he's a little guy. McGregor's not a big guy. McCowan they brought on, not a big guy. Hatate is not a big guy. And
that's why I said earlier we need a Scott Brown or a Wanyama type in there. We need a proper bruiser.
And there's no legs. And I think I can't remember if I think we talked about it before we got on here and before, but like, and I think I mentioned it to you, Ben, but like Jason, like, if we had Engels in that lineup, do we get through this tie? I think he's a guy who has legs. That's probably that's his big selling point, or was his big selling point for us. But like, Jason, do you think he gets us through this tie if Engels is in the lineup?
I hate to say it. I think the way everything played out, it would have at least been more competitive. At this point in time, considering if we throw him in there and we still face all the injuries on the back and the setup was the same, just putting him in there, I'm not sure it's enough, but it would have been a hell of a lot more competitive in there. Engels would always he brought more body in there. He wasn't a box to box. He wasn't a true box to box, but he would put more body in there.
Yeah, and
I
he just
think
covered a lot
the
of
midfield
ground.
getting
Like,
overrun would have decreased somewhat. Would have been enough, maybe, but yeah.
and then where's this guy? I gotta find the right comment. Oh, and this is and I think we've talked about this within the last couple months on the show, but can you name any physically imposing? The one I would say who was somewhat physically imposing, maybe near Baton, a little bit like breaking up play, but beyond that, like he was good at that. I thought
Troublesome.
beyond that, I mean, he was skinny, but he was tall.
You're going to bring politics into this podcast.
I'm about to. I'll say, I'll just pull the pin on the grenade and went, here you go.
Let me just chuck in near Baton. What do you think about him?
I mean, yeah.
Politics aside, he was good about lying deep. He could do that. Everything else, I'll keep for offline. We're gonna count Brown for the overlap. That's 2.
I don't think we can get a full.
Yeah,
I don't think you can get 5. The boy Sorrow was very average, but at least he was a bit of a bruiser.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I haven't thought about that name.
He would have taken a yellow card last night.
Oh yeah, probably falling over his own feet, but he would have taken a yellow
probably
card.
a red card too.
Yeah, I was about to say 50-50, a yellow falling over his own feet, and then like a red card sliding through a guy at speed. Yeah.
But Justin saying that, right? Like that's just 3 people that have played that defensive midfielder position that we've never really addressed, because it was Wanyama's, Scott Brown's, Callum McGregor's.
Yeah.
And it's been Callum McGregor since then. And I just don't think that we have turned that spot over enough.
Yeah.
That'll throw Sean's comment up here, and that's perfect segue. But like, does Callum McGregor's place in the team restricted anybody from taking on that role? I don't know. Like, Ben, what do you think on that?
I disagree. I think you take Callum McGregor out of that team, I think we lose 8-0 last night, to be honest. Honestly,
I was saying maybe not last night, but just in general.
Honestly, I think Callum McGregor doesn't get enough credit for how good a footballer he is and how good a leader he is. But he needs help. He's not 20-something anymore. He's in his 30s, and his legs are starting to go. He needs help in there. And it's a great point. You can't really think of 5 proper centre defensive mids we've had since.
Awada, that's a good one. Awada might have been a good one if they.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah,
but,
an opportunity.
Even Awada, he wasn't really a bruiser, was he? He's not like a Wanyama or a Scott Brown.
He was a big boy. Like he was strong.
He's
He's
been flying his trade pretty well there. I don't think that we needed to look at bringing a replacement in for McGregor up till about 3 years ago, and then we really needed to think about it because Ben, like you said yourself, man, he was playing 70 games a year, 2 years in a row. No one played more minutes in Europe.
Yeah,
all of Europe, every league, every player than Callum McGregor, and not bringing a guy in to say, hey, Callum, you truly don't need to go to Inverness. Please stay home, instead of throwing him out there every time.
Yeah.
And I didn't put up that comment because I'm with you guys. Like and I agree with Ben. Like I think last night could have been 8-0 if McGregor wasn't out there. I think he was our best player. But I think at times we, like you said, Jay, he probably plays too much, and you could probably squeeze guys in there to guys like Awada, who's gone on to have a little bit of success somewhere else, but like to give those guys a little bit more of a chance to play and not feel like they need to make a move elsewhere, kind of. But yeah, McGregor's a great captain, great leader, great player. Doesn't have the legs that he used to have, but like I would get rid of him. But like you said, I think we need somebody else to support what he does, and we don't have that right now, especially now that Angles is not around.
Yeah. I think I said this the last time I was on, but I will happily reiterate it. And that is, I'm very, very old. So we've had a club captain who didn't play a lot. Tom Boyd was that person. And then we went to, oh, I just bottled his name. But the defensive, Lambert, Paul Lambert,
Paul number.
you know, yeah. I mean, he was still club captain, basically riding the bench his last year of his contract. So you're like, don't be afraid to have those guys, sit down occasionally, take a little rest. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, particularly with the amount of games that we play, like especially when we're in Europe, like.
There's a comment there. In Europe, you need to play 2 6s away from
Yeah, I did. Did I put that up? Yeah.
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 You do.
You're right. Yeah.
Especially when you're 3-0 up. Like, you don't need to go for the game. Just play 2 6s and sit there.
Yeah.
And like I said before, just ruin the game. Take some bookends. Make it an ugly game. Yeah, okay, you're not going to get huge plaudits for the way you played, but who cares? You get through the tie in the Champions League.
Do we have 2 6s right now?
We do not.
I think Rio. I would have played Rio beside Callum, and then let Negrin go and do his thing. But Bauer, for me, looks nice and tidy, but I don't think he's not defensively minded either. I think you could say neither's Rio, but with his experience, I would have been tempted to put him in beside McGregor and just be like, you know what, you guys just sit. You don't have to go forward too much. And let everyone in front of you go forward, and then just sit in front of that back four. That should have been that. I mean, I'm an armchair fan, and I've never coached a team in my life, but to me that was obvious. I was saying it at halftime to you guys on the WhatsApp chat. I was like, get Negrin off and get another person in midfield. We're getting overrun, and he takes until 60-something minutes before he makes change, and it's already 3-1. And it's like you could see it happen. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and Negrin was. I mean, I can't think of many positive contributions that Negrin made in that game. Like,
Negrin was the Negrin of last season, where I came on a couple of times on here and I said he's the best shite player ever. He was playing like that last night.
Yeah, I mean that's a shame because he first 3, 4, 5 games of this season, he has not been that. He has been,
but he's a luxury
really
player.
Good. Yeah, he is.
He's a luxury player.
Yeah, and probably a luxury player you don't need when you're up 3-0.
Exactly.
Going away in Europe. And
this is also the first one that you didn't have Ingles.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have him last week against Lask, but that you're right, Chris. From
a I don't know what I'm supposed to do standpoint. If Negrin knows what he's supposed to do, hey, hang out and this is you're looking for these passes and or a shot, and that's just what he's going to do. Calling him a luxury player, that is a perfect description of Ben Negrin is that if you give him the right space, he can make incredible things happen. But when you're not pushing the rest of the squad in the same direction, he's just sitting there doing the same thing that he's always going to do, and he's not being effective in doing it because you're not helping him at all. I don't know. I'm frustrated with the whole thing.
Negrin has a role. Doc's throwing it up there, and he's right. Negrin definitely has a role. It just last night wasn't where he should have been. Again, we should that midfield should have been beef. It should have been just nothing but beef, and we don't have it. So he goes back out there again, and Bauer, who I will be the fourth person on this to say I rate him. I think he's going to be good, but man, if he's 5'8", I'm the Pope. And he's lightweight. He's lightweight. He's
5'4".
Chris Commons it. But we simply don't have those guys. So by default, Negrin goes out there. He's doing Negrin things, which is what he does. We know what he was going to do, but that's not what we needed.
Yeah, and I agree with Andrew that I think that extra man in midfield would have been Just to gum things up in there would have been huge.
Would you consider a heavier Chris Commons like a defensive midfielder during that time?
I miss your face, Chris. I gotta say that.
No, Chris Commons didn't have a defensive bone in his body.
He did not. Nope.
And he was big bones. He didn't have a defensive bone in his body.
Hey, we all remember Fat Commons season.
Yeah,
Okay, it was hard for all of us, baby.
Commons is a luxury player too.
Yeah.
So he scored a lot of goals that one season.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he did.
100%.
Well, when I spring back to, you guys probably remember this game as well, when we drew 2 each with Rangers at Ibrox in a cup game, and I think Fraser Foster got sent off. The player that got sacrificed was Commons. So Neil Lennon went, okay, well, I'm going to sacrifice you because I need another person in midfield because I don't have time for a luxury player right now. And then we get the Brown goal, which creates the celebration and finishes 2 each. But that's Neil Lennon recognizing that, okay, you're a luxury player. It's good to have you on when it's 11v11 and we can go for it. Now we're a man less. I'm taking you off because you're a luxury player. And that's what I was trying to say at halftime. Is like, Negron's a luxury player. Take him off. Put someone else in that midfield.
Yeah.
And then if I can see that, that's where I said at the start of the show, you've got to lay some blame at Martin O'Neill as well. If he can't see that, I don't know.
I think he has taken a lot of heat. More, I mean, considering he's Martin, not a lot of people have come out and said it, but I think enough to the point where, it is it's St. Martin. I think people are reluctant to criticize him, but I think in this case, I think he's gotten more criticism than I thought he would this season, even. But I don't know, and I'm going to mention him again later, just in terms of
I think a lot of people were stunned by the subs.
Yeah.
We can talk about starting lineup, but then again, Ben, you pointed out, you're like, it's the same lineup that was 3-0. He was like, we'll throw him back out there and hope for the best again. But all right, Doc. Yep. But I mean, the subs, some of them were foisted upon us. Okay, we have to do that. If you're signaling go off, you got to go. But a couple of those, I'm like, dude, what in the hell were you thinking?
Yeah.
Bring Tanecki on with his one move. This is not what we need. We need. So,
yeah, why not Hassan over Tanecki? At that point, I mean, I know but not that Tanecki doesn't really track back much either. I think Hassan, from what I've seen so far and from what I've heard about him, he's not a guy who's gonna help out much defensively.
No, but
Tanecki's not that guy either.
He's also going to take the ball up the park.
Yeah, and that's where I think he's going to do a better job. Yeah, and we needed that. Needed a guy who's going to just.
He's going to maybe take you 60, 70 yards up the park, maybe get a foul, and then you're up the park and you're taking some pressure off the defense. Because as much as I've kind of gone for Carter Vickers tonight and some others as well, they were under constant pressure because we couldn't keep the ball, we couldn't get up the park, so they were under constant pressure the whole game. And that big forward for them last night, he was ragdolling boys. Yeah. He was just going for it.
He's a big dude.
That boy is thick.
Yeah.
His first,
and by the way,
both goals. His first goal was outrageous.
But again, nobody goes to him. You can see he's lining up for a shot, and nobody comes out to him. The space we allowed them in the middle of the park last night was just, it was frightening at times. So it was just where is our midfield gone? It just emptied all the time. I feel like at times we were trying to press, but nobody was quite sure when to press, and then people weren't pressing at the right time or pressing together, and that left gaps as well. So to your point earlier, Chris, what have they been doing on the training pitch if they've had that free weekend to get ready for tonight?
Exactly.
What have you been training for? Because surely you've watched the last game back and maybe been honest with yourself and gone, oof, we kind of got away with that last week. We need to be a lot tighter in midfield and play a lot more sensible. And when you go, I'll go, and this is how we're going to press and this is how we're going to defend. Didn't look like we'd even got ready for the game.
No, you're right. Could we have sent McCowan on loan and kept Bernardo? I don't know. Would Bernardo have been I think Bernardo would have been better in that game than anybody. I think
to be honest, any of us could have played better than McCowan last night. McCowan was I said I wasn't going to go for individual people, but he lost the ball 19 times last night and he didn't even start the game.
Every 4 Like
Less than that.
serious.
He
Like
came on in 70 minutes. So in 50 minutes, he lost the ball 19 times.
That's
4 minutes.
mental.
4 minutes.
That's
Every
outrageous.
4 minutes he had a turnover.
And then I just go back to like some plays too, like and losing the ball in bad spots, and then just looking tired.
Yeah, you've come on
When
70
you come
minutes.
on
You
in
should be
70
fresh
minutes.
and raring to go.
Yeah,
And
like-
he looked exhausted as soon as he came on the park. He looked like he was towing a
Yeah.
caravan as well. There's a few of them like that. And that goes back to what we talked about earlier. What's the fitness regime at Celtic? Because we look gassed. Absolutely gassed.
We really did. Like, I mean, going back like Tierney, it was like he, and I'm a humongous Tierney fan, but like, it was like he, and I forget the play exactly what happened, but it was like he made a great play to recover to maybe break up a goal, but it was like, all right, I'm fucked now. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I just gave everything I have to say that play, and I'm done now. And that was almost Carter Vickers too. But like you said, Ben, you said the back four was under constant pressure all night long, and I think a lot of those problems just come back to the midfield that were just so light in there, and there's just
there was a comment way higher up ago, and they talked about how before the defense and midfield were playing tighter together, and we were allowing them in behind us. Instead, we moved the defense back that allowed them to come in that gap and then come straight at the defense, and that turned into a problem for us. And I think that was very well put. And again, we look at the guys that we have back there. Hey, man, I think Donovan's going to be a nice little player. We also need to remember he's 18, or did he recently turn 19? But
I think he's 19.
Is he 19?
19.
But still, child.
Exactly.
So but what are we going to do?
Yeah, I thought he was great last week, but again, I think just got caught out of position a lot of times last night, and then probably again. What was it? Schmeichel was saying, because he's one of those guys who looks like Donovan looks like he wears no shin guards. And Schmeichel was saying that some of the guys wear the cardboard from the shoe boxes as their shin guards, which I don't know how, like, if that's, I feel like referees check that. I mean, I know I used to ref, and that's something
they tap it, but dude, this notebook is bigger than like some of the shin guards these guys have got on these days. It's like you face the east and you say shin guard.
Yeah,
I mean, it's no.
Donovan's are barely above his ankle though. Like he's one of those guys who wears them really no. And I know, and he got that. It was that play in the corner, which I was surprised that was a
it's a strange one. I thought that was at least a yellow card.
Yeah,
at least a yellow card.
I don't think it was a red card, but I think he came in really hard with a lot of force on that. And
so I compare that to Maida's challenge on the boy against Atletico Madrid. Was that a couple seasons ago?
Yes.
Was that too dissimilar? Really? Was it too dissimilar? I
think he went in with more force. I don't think there was much studs on it.
But that's where the inconsistency enrages fans, though, right? So Maida gets sent off for that, right? And that guy doesn't even get a booking for that. Yeah, I'm just because maybe if he's on a booking, right, he needs to watch himself a little bit more with his ragdolling and all the stuff he was doing. Do you know what I mean? But listen, the referee was not someone you could pin the blame on last night, but I thought he wasn't great at all.
No, he wasn't.
There was lots of things I thought he let go. And I'm like, that's not a foul. Like, I don't know. I remember him from Scotland, Denmark, and he looked like he wanted to play until Denmark scored that night before Scotland made it 4-2. He added on 3 or 4 extra minutes onto stoppage time that night. And ever since then, I've taken a dislike to him. And I don't know, a Scottish guy shat in his teapot one time or something. Like, he doesn't seem to like Scottish teams at all. So, yeah.
He was the World Cup final ref? Was that him?
In 2022, yeah.
2022, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I didn't pick up on. And I'll go to one name, and I had a note to mention him tonight, and I'll go to Jack in the comments. But thoughts? I'll go to you, Chris. Like Sinisalo, and I've seen I guess mixed review. Just talk like on social media. I've been on Twitter all day, just badgering people. But like, it's some are like, yeah, Sinisalo is never our number one keeper. Some are he kept us in the game a little bit with some saves last night. I don't know. Like, how do you like? Not that right now we have any options other than him, because I don't think Ross Duhan is anything to fall back on. But I mean, you saw I forget the guy's name from the Hungarian keeper.
Yeah.
But like thoughts on Sinisalo last night?
Toth. Blackburn goalie. Is that you're talking
about? Blackburn. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I saw that there was a lot of people being super hard on Sinisalo. Some of those shots, I don't think that, Ochoa could have made some of those saves. They were great shots that Lask made. I'm not unhappy with Sinisalo. I know that there is a whole lot of he's not the first team keeper. I don't really pay attention to that as much as does he fill you with confidence? And up until yesterday, I would have said that he's made some good saves. I don't have anything really negative or positive to say about him other than I hope he's able to keep the shirt. He's had some clean sheets. But man, there's an awful lot of responsibility that goes into some things that a keeper's supposed to be kind of aware of, and I don't think that he's like for example for corners going in, he was barking orders at people and nobody was listening to him. I know that I saw at least twice yesterday that I mean he was trying to put his defenders in the right space, but he wasn't strong enough in his convictions to tell him to do that. I don't know, if you go back you'll see what I'm talking about, but I don't think that he's just, I don't think he's a very aggressive keeper. I think he does the best that he can, but maybe that's not the level we are at the moment.
I wouldn't be blaming Sinisalo for last night.
Yeah, same here.
I actually thought he made a couple really good saves in the game. He saves the penalty. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be pinning blame on him, to be honest. I think, midfield far too open and allowing that many shots. If you're going to allow 40 shots at goal, what's your keeper meant to do? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's trying his best out there, but if you're going to allow a team to have 40 shots at your goal, you want to blame the goalie? Nah, not for me.
Yeah, I mean, the one was off of the one that I guess tied it up for it, made it 4-4 in the tie.
He's made a great save, and he needs one of his defenders to then try and help him out.
It over the line, yeah. I mean, there was like 4 touches in the box. Like, there's nothing. Then a few of them are from outside the box, but even those, like,
they were in the corner.
Guys with acres of space to get off.
Yeah, there were a couple. Looking back, because I do want to point out that I did catch the highlights. A couple of those goals, maybe he could have done a little better on. Chris, you pointed out, I mean, he's not an aggressive guy. He's not commanding his area like some of our keepers do. But dude, he just got peppered 3 ways from Sunday. What do you eventually you're going to leak. Ben, you said it. You could have a Choa back there. Eventually, something's going to get through. At 40 shots, something's getting through.
65 shots in 2 games is just inexcusable against a team from Austria. I feel like, who we have 4 or 5 times higher budget than them. It's just,
dude, their stadium's MLS sized.
since I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I
I
don't know. I looked through. I'd still say McGregor, and then maybe.
I would have said McGregor or Hatate when he came on.
Yeah.
Were the better players on the night, but even Hatate gives away a daft penalty as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those, we can dissect it all night, but really it was just shit.
We could have just said that in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Like, all right,
yeah.
thank you. Good night, guys.
Thanks for our 3-minute podcast. How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
That was shit.
Yeah.
And
Appreciate you.
That's the reality.
It was absolute shit.
Yeah, totally.
But this whatever Malleus 77, we do need another keeper in, I think, to
Agreed.
provide competition.
Agreed.
But at this point in time, if we're looking at trying to bring in, I mean, we only have a certain number of slots for non-domestic players. Do you really want to bring in a non-Scottish keeper versus all of the other holes that we have right now? I would rather bring in a defender, a central defender, something like that to fill that in and stick with what we got with Sinisalo. But
I want 8 new players, but that's not going to happen.
Martin has said we don't need another central defender. That seems insane to me. That he's willing to ride with whatever CCV, Trusty, Murray, Skill.
Let's be honest. Carter Vickers will get injured at some point in the season. Probably.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, yeah.
Trusty too, probably.
It's not even a question mark. It's going to happen. So you need to have a really good backup.
Yeah, and I agree with it. I mean, Sinisalo, I don't have complaints about him. So I guess that's a good thing compared to most of the guys on the side.
The comment before was valid. You need competition for places though as well. So I think if you're Carter Vickers and you're Trusty right now, you're like, well, nobody's taking my jersey. But if we go sign a real top centre half, maybe then they go, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to step up my game a little bit here because this guy's here to take my place. Same with if we brought in a backup keeper who's decent, then Sinisalo then goes, okay, I've got to really be on my game, up my level. It's the same anywhere on the park. If you have someone that's breathing down your neck who's good, you're gonna up your level. Mm-hmm. And the reality was laid bare last night with the substitutions that we brought on. The squad depth is not there. No, it's not.
Yeah, and I think we knew that going in.
But that's where now I'm going to have a go at the board because they have had.
I was exactly going to say that.
How long to prepare for this? So we've lambasted the players and the manager. Let's get onto the Celtic board, who again have gambled on us getting through this tie before they then invest more money. Yeah. Whereas we basically spent 0 net. Do you know what I mean? So you knew you were getting the money for Maida, you knew you were getting the money for Engels. That's 32 million or whatever it is. I don't think we spent more than that. So we spent 0 net. And going into the transfer window, I think all of us probably thought we needed 6, 7, 8 players. They've signed 4.
Yeah, 4 decent money.
Yeah,
somewhat
that's
quality.
fine.
Yeah, and which is great. But you're right.
It's 4 players.
That's was maddening. It wasn't everybody on social media today, but God, the people who are it's so fucking frustrating that people are like, you can't blame that game on the board. And
you
it's
can.
You can. You just can't.
You can.
How?
You have to. And so people are like, it's the player. We had a 4-goal lead with 60 minutes left.
Yeah, but you didn't have the quality. You didn't have the quality to come off the bench because you've not invested in the squad.
Yeah, exactly.
So, even if you'd signed maybe a centre half and the big boy from Torino, I think you get through that tie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it goes back. The criminal part is you have known Engels is going to be gone since January. So, and then the people, and that's another thing. You see, people angry at Engels that he left us right before our Champions League qualifiers, but then not directing any of that anger at the board for not, and go back to, and again, you can go back to Martin O'Neill and not being prepared to replace that is next to criminal. You've known that whole time, and it's good. Like they replaced Dyson. That was good. Like Duran kind of fits that Dyson mold of a guy who's going to score goals.
So,
and
how long ago did Kyogo leave? 18 months ago?
Yeah, I was going to say
longer.
18, 2 months.
So you've only just
years.
replaced him with who?
Mm-hmm.
Maida wanted away last summer and basically down tools until the end of the season where he thought, right, I better play out my skin because I want to go to the World Cup with Japan, let's be honest. So he played out his skin for the last 7 games, helps us win us the league, but he couldn't be bothered because he didn't want to be there. So you've known for a year you needed to replace Maida. It's taken you a year to identify Danilo. Our approach to signing players and having succession plans is non-existent, to be honest. I mean, when we had Ange, right, before Juranovic had left in that January transfer window, we'd signed Alistair Johnson.
Yep.
So before we allowed Juranovic to leave, we've signed his replacement already. What's happened to that model? Like, sign before you let someone go.
Yeah.
Other clubs do it. Other clubs will keep their player until they're like, okay, we've got a replacement for this guy who's now leaving. Now we'll let him go out the door. Yeah. Celtic are just like, show us the money. We'll take the money.
Or at least have an idea in place who you're going to bring in. And it seems like we happen to now this window, I am going to say slightly different. We actually did seem to have a concept of what we needed this time. But I mean, we have to be looking like 2 years ago. It should have been, we need to bring in a Calmac replacement. We need to bring in, a cover for Tierney. I'm hoping Sriracha's having a great time in Houston. Seems like he's living his best life. But, I mean, that's the thing. And Ben, you absolutely nailed it. We have these guys who we know want to go or are ready to go or should go. Hatate being a perfect example. He should have gone in the summer, but we should have had a Hatate Mark II. If Bauer's it, that's great. But then we need to bring in somebody else on top of that. Do we have that? No. And there's no forward thinking here.
No.
Well, take it a step further, right? So we were talking earlier about getting the team to gel together, right? And the players, the Bauer, Ho, Hassan. None of these players have really played together, right?
Right.
They waited until a week and a half, 2 weeks before the first Champions League tie last week to get all of these players signed up, brought in, getting training, and now you're not going to qualify for the Champions League because these players haven't gelled enough as a team to actually make a difference. I mean, Casper Hu coming off the bench, that's great. He is a dynamic player. He scored 3 goals and a hat trick in 1 domestic game, right? He didn't do shit yesterday. He didn't do a fucking thing.
I think, to be fair to him, the long balls were shite up to him.
Yeah.
He didn't have much supply.
Agreed.
I mean, but he must have been up there on his own last night at times going, what are they wanting me to do here? What do they want me to do?
He was making runs that nobody was playing the ball to.
Exactly.
And so we didn't have him playing up top yesterday for us. He was there, but they weren't playing together. And that's got to be at some level on the board of how you sign players and get them involved in the football club. Yeah. Because if you had gone back 3 or 4 weeks and got these 3 players and got some other people in and whatever, you breeze through that tie.
Well, even if you sign those 4 players right at the start of the summer, they get a full preseason with their teammates, they get to play preseason games with their teammates, and they get some more minutes playing together, like you said, Chris. Why can't we do deals quicker? If apparently we've been told as well, we've identified Casper Hu, we've identified Hassan before he went to the World Cup, we've identified Bauer before the summer, we've identified Danilo before the summer. Why can't you sign them at the start of the summer?
Yeah. I mean,
Hassan being the perfect example of this, man. We knew we wanted him. We knew there was a need there, to be honest.
Yep.
World Cup or not, even if he would, if we would have signed him early enough, he would have at least been jogging. And we can't say, he's getting his legs back. Yeah, okay, cool. He's tired coming out of the World Cup. Cool, we all are. But let's be honest. He would have had him in here. He just would have. He would have been slowly working his way back into fitness. Yeah,
It's a great comment.
Yeah, buddy,
Great
that
comment.
one hurts. That one hurts.
And Srirachi. I mean, I'll go back to that forever.
Both of them wanted to stay so bad, and we did
throw Araujo in that too.
Well, he's injured again as well.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
That's the only reason why I haven't brought him up, to be perfectly honest, because we should have signed him, is because he got hurt. I'm like, that's a shame. But yeah,
still.
Srirachi and Ian Acho seemed like no-brainers to me.
Yeah, it was such no-brainers. It was easy.
No-brainers.
No-brainers. Yeah. Absolutely.
And when Srirachi's purchase price dropped to what, 2.6?
No, I think we could have gotten for as low as 1.5 million.
Yeah. Ben, don't do that, dude. Don't do that to me. Sorry, man. We're all a little fragile.
But the point is that you can 100% blame this on the board and the people that are making the decisions. That if you're trying to assemble a team, the best way to do it is fast. Right? You want to bring everybody in. You want to get them on the same page, train them together, get them playing as a squad. And then when you come up to, a decent last team, you're not, quote unquote, scared to play them in the second half.
Yeah, because you know where your teammates are going to be. You can trust them because you've been playing with them for longer, et cetera, et cetera.
That's the thing that really pisses me off out of this whole thing, is that the Hassan deal was like watching paint dry. The Casper Ho deal was like watching paint dry. Everything is just like this big ordeal that takes so fucking long to get done. And by the time it's gotten done, you've only had these players in for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and you're like, well, why couldn't they go out and win the game against this Austrian champions team? Fuck,
if you're being honest as well, if you're being honest, and I'm going to keep attacking the board here.
Yeah.
If any other company had a board in place that had failed to meet their key target for six times in a row, you don't think there's going to be changes?
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably all those times where you have a bigger budget / payroll, those 6 times those teams were playing, for the most part, I feel like we have a pretty significantly bigger payroll, and but I don't know. But going back to the slowness, and you can bring that back to hiring Martin O'Neill again this season. It's almost like they wait until, and I'll say Engels are.
I think
Engels is gone. We replace him.
Yeah, no, Shawnee. They wanted to sign Robbie Keane, and they saw the backlash, and then they went, "All right, we'll give it to Martin for another season," because they were scared of the fans. I think
you're probably right. Yeah.
The only reason they've gone and spent some money as well this summer is I think that friendly against Middlesbrough, when there was 500 people at Celtic Park, it looked ridiculous for that friendly against Middlesbrough or whatever it was. Yep. I think that was a bit of a wake-up call. We need to go and sign some players because this Not Another Penny campaign looks like it's picking up here, and we're going to get hurt in the pocket if we don't do something. So they've done some stuff to appease the fans, but they don't have a long-term vision for Celtic Football Club. They just don't. It's all short-term thinking. Martin O'Neill's short-term. I really do think they tried to give it to Robbie Keane, and then they saw the fan backlash and backed off. I think that's who they were going for this summer. The fact that Johnny Hayes and Scott Brown were going to meet with him as well, they were going to be part of his backroom team, and then the backlash stopped that.
Hey, and when you talk about the Not Another Pence, that's exactly it. I mean, when you lose someone like Shawnee, who was getting ready to buy everything that wasn't nailed down in the Celtic store like a week ago, this is going to hurt them. This is going to hurt them. This is going to make them aware that this is unacceptable and that we can't do this anymore. This has been 3 years in a row. Dude, I want to buy so much stuff. I want to buy so much stuff right now. And I'm literally sitting on nothing. sitting on nothing just because
That new away top is gorgeous.
Oh,
The black one.
God,
Oh
dude,
my
it's
days! It's
so
lovely.
good. It's so good.
But I mean, some fans have said it, right? We're like a merchandise club who sometimes wins some trophies.
Yeah.
I mean, we put out way more merch than we sign players. Do you know what I mean? So
Valid.
I got it. I need to ban somebody from the comments. I don't know who he is, but
Oh dear.
that's not a bad shout, by the way. Josh Mulligan, Will Ferry. I would rather have Josh Mulligan and Will Ferry coming on last night than shoehorning Scales at left back and bringing on McCowan.
right.
Without it, yeah.
Mulligan's got the legs as well. So
yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not ideal. It's a step down from what I think we probably deserve. But yeah, at this point, I would take those
in terms of
guys.
your Scottish quotas and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
That's the thing, and we have the money to basically go, to go in and be like, cool, we're gonna pay Hibbs $3.2 million. We're gonna bring in what was it? The two cats from Dundee United a while ago, Armstrong and JMS.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Spend the damn money, gut the other teams, make your quota. They're not world beaters, but they're going to be good enough. Stuart Armstrong had great hair. Also was a decent attacking midfielder for like 2 seasons.
Great song.
The other fella fell into a canal, but he was a decent winger, so we got that going for us.
Yeah. We used to always buy the best talent around in the SPL, and we seem against that now. And like the players we've let leave Scotland in the last couple of seasons. The boy that went to Udinese from Motherwell, Lennon Miller, he wanted to go to Celtic. Celtic season ticket holder. Just go get him. Like, what are you haggling over pennies for? Just go get him. You've got money in the bank. I mean,
I can't hear you over John McGinn. What'd you say? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, John McGinn. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many examples of guys who you just saw go to other teams and then perform as well, and you're like,
yeah.
I mean, John McGinn, what we haggling over $500,000, and then he goes to Aston Villa. Mental.
Yeah, so I mean that I guess that leads to the next, and that's the fallout from not being in the Champions League, whatever now they call it, league stage or whatever it is.
I think Celtic Park on Saturday is going to be toxic.
Yeah, well, and that's what it is. It's, I mean, there's that 100%. There's negative vibes again.
Yeah, it's going to be toxic. There's going to be banners against the board. There's going to be chants against the board. Unless they go out and sign maybe 3 or 4 players before Saturday, which that board, do you think they've got that in them? I don't think they do.
Absolutely.
It's going to be toxic on Saturday. Really toxic.
I
think our next best move is to ban the Green Brigade.
That's what we're weeks away from that because of some hardcore protests that they do, and we're just back in last season, and it's just fucking mad.
By the way,
that we got at this point.
Hearts got a really good result today in Europe, and I don't think they're going away. I think they'll sign some more players now. They've got guaranteed European football as well, and they seem to have like a plan in place for buying players and identifying players that we don't seem to have. Rangers are scattergun. I think it could be a 3-horse race again. I really do. Because I think unless we get some more bodies in, it might be another slog. It really
Hearts
could be.
Kept their best player. They sold and made a tremendous amount of money off of a complete donkey who went to the Huns. So I think they're still going to be around, Ben. I think you're right. And it's just going to be, what can we do? Because here we are looking at injuries already again. So, everybody, let's cue up Tony Ralston's music and enjoy the next few weeks, because that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, Ralston Murray, right side of defense potentially for Saturday if Carter Vickers is injured and Donovan's injured. Fantastic.
Yeah. So what the transfer window closes next week.
I think it's September 2nd or 3rd in Scotland. Yeah. We're a day after the rest of the UK.
Yeah. So Chris, I'll go to you. I mean, what do you think happens? Is it just going to be Chris is on train? Jay, What do you think
Transfer.
happens? Like, bunch of loan deals. Like
Yes.
Ben said,
Yeah.
and the comments, Josh Mulligan.
No,
players
I
along
think,
those lines.
Sean, the last time you asked me that question, I said no one else is coming in. We signed 18 dudes on loan, 2 of which were decent, 1 of which was Mavuka. So
He's gone back to Bodo Glimt, by the way.
which, by the way, okay, stunning. No, so what is it from here? Loans. I think all of the rumors about everybody we were going to sign, how we gone forward, have evaporated. I think those have a lot of weight to them. So we're going to bring in the American kid from Chelsea to cover at left back, and maybe grab another couple of loan people. Who they are and what they're going to be, Lord knows. We're not linked with anybody good. I mean, again, that Chelsea left back kid, he's like 18. Yeah, well, yes, that's true, Jack.
Yeah.
But
he's never played a professional game either. So
right. I don't see us bringing in anything more than maybe a panic-filled 3 loan players, and then see what happens. But hey, don't worry. Jota coming back is like signing a brand new player, guys, and he's going to be just the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out this window over here if anybody has any questions.
Chris, now that the train is gone,
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, do you agree with Jason? It's just loans. I feel like the guy from Torino is just like, we have the money.
They're gone. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Yeah.
I mean,
we have money.
We have the money.
The thing is,
and it's a need. It's a desperate need. I feel like
the thing is that we can go round and round with the things that are glaringly obvious that we need more of. Right? We need a backup goalkeeper. We need a backup left back. We need a backup right back. We need 3 more midfielders. Jota coming back. I don't think that he's going to be anywhere near what he was in the past. I'm really concerned that we're at a place that we're not gonna put a whole lot of money into it. But I would love to see another 5 or 6 players come in. Where they fit in, who knows what they're supposed to do. I have no idea. But I think the thing that's the most dangerous about that is that we're not signing players that have the same ambition now that we are no longer going to be in the Champions League. Yep. And because of that, it really doesn't matter who we bring in, as long as they bring in quote unquote bodies, we should still be competitive in Scotland. And I think that's the real pinch point for arguing against the board that hasn't made the right signings, the right time, the right preparations to get ready for not just this season, but domestic and European football. I'm really concerned that there's just a little bit of like, well, we didn't do it, so we're not just going to invest the same amount of money that we were already going to invest in getting new players, because we're trying to balance the spreadsheets. If we can make a couple of more money off some of the away kits, then maybe that won't look as bad if we don't do well in Europe at all. And that's just, I don't know how else to take all that other than just things that at face value. I think losing yesterday pretty much sealed the fate that they're not going to invest a whole lot of money in the squad anymore. And that's the thing that's going to piss off the most people, is that, like, well, even if we didn't get in the Champions League, like, we can make a run in the Europa League if we got enough players. Do you honestly think that they're going to go out and buy some actual players?
And that's actually Sean threw up the exact comment that I was looking at, and I mean it's like, okay, bringing Sigger in, that actually fills a hole for us, right? Mamek, listen, you're gonna ask me, I rate him highly, sure, fine. He's an attacking midfielder. Do you know what we super don't need right now? An attacking midfielder. So, where are we at? Hell, Hearts just signed another striker since we started this podcast.
Right.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here on the back end? And Chris, you've absolutely nailed it. And it, as much as it makes my heart hurt, what exactly is the board doing to address this?
They're not going to do a damn thing.
Exactly.
And exactly. I for the first time in a long time, last Thursday, I went online and opened up the Superstore website and just looked at all of the beautiful things that they have in there, right? All of the kits and here's this, oh God, the fucking track suits and the goddamn shoes and just all the things. And I'm not going to spend another fucking dime at that place.
No,
I'm not, because I mean, this is the frustration with people, is that I'm already spending, a couple $1,000s a year to follow Celtic the way that I do, right? With Celtic TV and the things that I support, that I'm always going to support, because that's what being a Celtic supporter is, right? But I'm not going to go that extra step and buy the Adidas kit. I'm not going to buy all of the wonderful things that they're trying to push, because they're not going to turn around and try to salvage a season and make a Europa League run. Like getting beat yesterday in the embarrassing way that we got bullied off of the ball and lost a 3-0, lead going into the second leg of a Champions League playoff. They're not going to get another dime from me, and I guarantee you that there's a lot of Celtic supporters that feel exactly the way that I do, which is, if you're not going to invest in the squad and make my football watching ability better, then why the fuck am I going to go buy another fucking shirt? I don't need any more shirts. You know what I want? I want a left back. I want a midfield that's not going to be fucking scared.
Yeah.
And
buddy.
And that shit pisses me off more than anything, because that's the mindset of being a supporter and somebody that's just like, well, you know what? This is my favorite team in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I want Celtic to succeed, not just for me, but for everybody that Celtic means something to, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm a Celtic supporter. I don't support Celtic because I want the fucking shirt. I could give a shit about the shirt. You know what I want? I want to win. And I want to do it in the same fashion that Celtic Football Club has been known for. If you're not going to put any money into it, just sell your shirts and don't listen to what I have to say.
Absolutely nailed it, Chris.
Well
absolutely
said.
nailed it.
Just
yeah.
Absolute applause. Absolute applause. That's it exactly.
Yes.
100%.
I mean, you know what? I'm any more with Celtic, and I have to say, these last few years, we've won more often than we've lost and everything else like that. I show up for you guys. I show up for the chance to meet people who I like, to continue to hang out with people who I like and everything else like that. And it gets harder and harder, because as much as I love you people, and I've been, for the first time I met him tonight, I know that we're good. And again, I'm going to be coming to your CSC soon because I got some money to launder. But I have to say, we'll be fine. Everything will be fine. I got some guys who are going to kill me later if this doesn't come through. But it's one of those things where it makes it harder. It makes it harder. And Chris, absolutely 100% your diatribe. Love it. Fully agree. But my God, club, give us something. Give us something.
Yep.
Please.
100%.
Yeah, the zero net spend to improve for Europe is not what the club needs. Like you had money in the bank beforehand.
On top of that,
So like, fuck that.
Supposedly.
You're right. I mean,
Supposedly.
Okay, dude, no, Hilton, no, dude,
Bring it back.
no, bring
Come
it
on
back. He's still got legs, so I can watch a backflip happen.
he gets Celtic.
Bring his saxophone with him.
Oh, we're gonna do that. Yeah, we can't get to Rocky back. We got Effie Ambrose warmed up in the bullpen.
God, I love that guy.
Yeah, I love him too. But all right, last two topics of the night, and like Chris, you sent this to me and Sean earlier.
Oh shit! I didn't know that you're going to bring that up.
I've seen it on social media too, so it wasn't just you. So, rumors of Ross Desmond being instilled as the chairman at Celtic. Seemingly, like Chris, you've seemingly heard it from a good source. I'm seeing it on social media too. Like, I'll go to you, Ben, first, because is that a big fuck you to Celtic fans?
100%. Yeah, the Desmonds treat Celtic like their own personal plaything, and they don't give a fuck about us. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's again like one of those just completely tone deaf moves that the club makes. And like Chris, I'll go to you since you sent it to me earlier. Like, I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Settle in, everybody.
It's a big fuck you. It's a big giant fuck you. It's kind of like I'm going to make a political jump here. It's kind of like Donald Trump getting out and saying, I'm going to buy 300 metric tons of beef and bring it into the United States because it's cheaper. It's rejected beef, right? It's not going to help anybody. It's not going to make things cheaper. Ross Desmond being the chairman, that's just like buying 300 metric tons of beef. Like, it's the biggest fuck you. You're the support. Pay us our money, buy your shirts, and shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And if that happens, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I agree, and it's just almost like a pile on just after, particularly after, losing out on Champions League yesterday, and then like if this news comes out in the next few days, it just adds to the negativity we talked about earlier, and it's going to create more protests and possible bans for the Green Brigade and shit like that, and the negativity around the club just festers, and it's, I don't know. I hate to end with just being that negative, but
Nope. Hey, you know what? We're coming into this weekend. We have a match.
All right.
Right?
That's a good segue.
Where are we
Well
at
done,
now?
Jason. Well
Thank
done,
you.
Jason.
I think I'm gonna just jump on the chairman thing a little bit more if I could. We appointed.
We were out, Ben. We were out. Why'd you bring
Hear me
it
out.
back?
So we appointed John Reed, who basically started a war with Tony Blair in Iraq and was against a lot of the politics for Celtic Club, and we appointed him as chairman. I think he would be a much more popular choice right now than Ross Desmond.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's dead now, but he would be a much more attractive appointment than Ross Desmond. So
just go back to the AGM last year. I mean, that's like
that was set up to fail. They had that statement already in front of Peter Law to end the meeting, because they were like, we're gonna get these guys riled up so that we can get out of here, and then we'll go away and we'll do our voting in a separate room, and we'll all just keep our jobs. They don't give a fuck.
Nobody wants to be answering questions for why you haven't done the things that you want to do in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the issue, right? That AGM, people had genuine questions about safety. They had genuine concerns about how the club was being run, how money was being spent, who was appointed to what was going on. And the answer, the overwhelming answer that came out of that AGM was like, we're not going to tell you, you need to shut up.
Yep.
And don't raise your voice at us.
Yeah.
And all you're going to do is raise everybody's voice at you when you appoint Ross Desmond, because, you know, I can't tell you the amount of hate, and I hate to use that word, hate, the hate that I have for people that never worked a day in their life, had everything given to them, and then they snub their nose at the same people that they want to come and buy their fucking t-shirts.
It's the fail sons coming in. Like, you can't come in here and screw this business up. Because let's be honest, you know, as Sean pointed out earlier, sometimes we feel like we are a marketing company that just happens to play football a couple times a week. And we're gonna put this fail son. We're gonna put this fail son in here who's gonna definitely work it out for us. Go on. Simply go on.
Yeah, quit trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens with that over the next couple of weeks.
Anyway, about this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, let's preview Falkirk.
Yeah. All right.
5-1. We got this. We're gonna pound them into the pavement.
I mean, I tend to think we probably will, but I don't know.
I mean, it's Falkirk, guys.
It's
I'm more worried about how toxic the stadium could be pre-game and during the game, and if you don't think that bleeds onto the players and they don't feel that, they do. So you want to play in front of Celtic Park like we did last Wednesday, when everyone's behind you and everyone's like just wanting you to do great. Then you're getting the 100% backing. See, on Saturday, if we don't sign a couple of players, or God forbid we appoint Ross Desmond as chairman in the next couple of days, we are going to see Celtic Park as toxic as it's ever been on Saturday.
You thought you thought the tangerines and the beach balls were a protest? Yeah. If that drops before Saturday, I don't know what the Scottish equivalent of the D-cell battery is. Sean, you're from Philadelphia, you know what I'm talking about. They're gonna rain down upon the pitch like no tomorrow. Do we have injuries, Andrew? We have all the injuries, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
we got. What do you want? Everyone's hurt.
I haven't heard anything in terms of. I would imagine that probably maybe Tierney and Carter Vickers will probably be out this week, or at least not start this weekend.
I think Tierney will start. I think he just cramped up and can't play 90 minutes. I think he'll start. I think Donovan will be touch and go, so we could see Ralston at right back. And if Carter Vickers is injured, you're going to see Dane Murray at right centre half.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tend to agree.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
We should be able to.
CCD is a big thing that's a concern for me right now. It's kind of like, you know, is he hurt or was he just not all the way there? And I get that, but we'll see.
I think
he just
on.
Yeah,
2-0.
Yeah, same.
And plenty of protests. And it won't be a nice watch either.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, Chris, earlier, you support Celtic because you want to be entertained at the weekend or midweek whenever Celtic are playing. You tune in to be entertained, to see great goals, to see a great team on the park. I'm not tuning in to see what latest merch we're selling and what nice away top we've got, as much as I do like the new away top. I want to see a team that's going to entertain me. That's why you go to watch a football match. You want to be entertained. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's an entertainment business.
Yep.
And last night, I mean...
Yeah, I tend to agree with Strangelove here. I mean, and maybe it's on the team to give us that performance. Like, now to just
I don't know.
really
I
give them
think
a pumping. I mean,
I think-
if it ends up being like a 5 or 6-0 or something like that,
I don't know.
then
I can't
but
see it.
I mean, you're probably right, but I think in
Can't
the
see it.
beginning it's going to be toxic.
Yeah.
After,
I'd imagine there'll be
after the way-
protests before
Yeah.
the game, during the game, after the game, to be honest.
Um,
And if you don't think that doesn't affect some players, yeah, you're living in a bubble.
yeah, no, you're 100% right, and that's a Brady's right. Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic, but maybe I'm too optimistic that it could be too toxic that it just makes it too negative.
It'll be
all right.
2-0 Celtic.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brady and Andrew. Was it Andrew? No, Sean's prediction were
Yeah.
fed right into Chris's. So I'll give it to you, Ben. I'm trying to keep track of this shit this year. Our predictions. So I have my little notebook. Nobody got it exactly right on our last one. I think some
Prediction
people-
for the game on Saturday?
Yeah, prediction
Yeah.
for Saturday.
I think it'll be a nervy 2-1 toxic atmosphere.
Wow.
Saturday.
Oh,
Man.
I don't like the
I
sound of
can
that.
see us conceding
Alright,
if we
alright.
start with Ralston and Dane Murray. I can
Yeah, no, you're right.
2-1 Celtic. It'll be a tough watch, and I think it'll be toxic as fuck.
All right.
There you go. That's
I'm
my
going to keep
prediction.
this record the whole season to see who's
Okay.
best at this. Jason, I'm going to go to you now. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna dial down my exuberance. I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna say 4-1. No way we're getting out with a clean sheet.
Ooh,
No
shit.
way, dude. Who are we?
I love
playing?
your optimism.
Who are we playing? Who are we playing? We're gonna score goals. But there's gonna be a lot of difficulties there. But I think it's gonna be 4-1. That front row is gonna be hard to stop for against the Barons. But outside of that, again, not getting out of the clean sheet because no way. Love you, Chris. 4-0. Go on. But yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, I'll say 3-1 just to because I do think we're going to give up a goal, but I'm not too afraid of Falkirk minus Calvin Miller, who scored a beauty today.
Well, he plays for Hearts now, so he won't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I saw his
Wait,
goal.
are you talking about former Celtic left back
Yeah.
Calvin Miller?
He
Yeah, I
scored
know.
a,
Another
he
team and
scored a
playing real
great
well?
goal for
Is
Hearts today. And a guy who he got hurt. I think he was hurt on the play and ended up like just sucking it up and scoring a goal.
Everything's
So-
fine. We're gonna be fine.
No, I tend to agree, but yeah.
Chris, what about you?
Alright.
What's your prediction?
I'm probably gonna go. Yeah, I'm easily 2-0.
Chris is always 2-0.
Yeah.
I think last week you, if I go back to my records, you switched it up a little bit from the usual 2-0.
Did I?
Celtics. Yeah.
Chris gets in the
Let me
chat.
go
He
through-
gets
let me go back to my
some
notebook.
exuberance that he doesn't share with us here.
No, so you had 3-0 against Dundee United and then 2-0 against Lask in the first leg. So
Oh,
we
well.
didn't get it one. We weren't on last week. So.
Oh, but see, like I guess that's the other.
You were
thing.
close
So,
on
like,
both. So
There's no way that I could have predicted yesterday. Like
No.
if you had told me that like Celtic would not only blow a 3-0 lead going into the tie, but that Celtic would have scored and then they would have scored 5 goals.
We
I
got
missed the penalty.
we got the receipts
Yeah,
in the
like-
chat, Chris.
if going into to yesterday, if I had never said anything about it during while the match was going on, I still don't think that I would have prepared for that. It is
No.
so unfathomable to go into a second leg of a tie like that and not think that you're not going to go through. Like it's literally insane to think that you're not going to go through
yeah.
at 3-0 ahead.
And then you score the first goal. You score the first goal. Like
I saw some percentages before the game. So Opta had Celtic before the game, before a ball was kicked, with the 3-0 lead, a 96% chance of qualifying.
Exactly.
Fucking insane, man.
So you're saying there's a 4% chance that it could happen?
Well, with Celtic away in Europe, fuck, you never know.
You know.
That's good shit.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start wrapping it up. But I'm gonna mention, and I think Jay, you guys in the Columbus crew are going out. I know Sean Finn in Pittsburgh, who I got to see last weekend. Sean Finn is a drummer in a band in Pittsburgh, and they were playing in Philly, so I got to see him this week. He's
Awesome.
the president of the Pittsburgh CSC, so I got to meet up with him this weekend, which was awesome. But he's trying to put together a little get-together in Pittsburgh on the weekend, I think, of November 20th. So I forget who we're playing that weekend, but just do a little get-together in Pittsburgh at their club to I think Jason and Bobby and David from Columbus are going, so hopefully we can get a little crew out there for that. That'd be great.
Come on,
Are any of you guys thinking of Vegas next summer?
Ooh.
I haven't thought of it yet. I don't know if I can pull it off, but
It depends on if Ross Desmond's the chairman of Celtic.
that does change things.
That's a fair
ladies
point.
and gentlemen, Chris.
And then speaking of, I'll throw up, and this is Bobby in the chat tonight. New season, and Sean is still in last place in the beer game, as always. I think he missed the one where I came in second. I actually had somewhat of a beard, but
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I forget who it was, but yeah. So I appreciate Bobby for keeping up on that.
Unless anyone gets Chris with some clippers, I think Chris is going to win that title every single
Chris has got it
podcast.
out.
Yeah.
I ain't aware of that.
Brother, I haven't been clean shaved since 2012.
So we'll wrap it up there. And it was fun tonight. And like I said, I think it was a rough day yesterday, but I don't know. I think it was just a good therapy session. So
hey,
it was.
I get to wake up and have Celtic supporters like you in my life.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what we got. That's what we got.
And we get to chat about it. So that's I told Chris last week, when we it was me. I had my technical issues with my computer, my work. I won't say it, but my PC that I do this on was having problems. And dude, I was distraught, just not having this time to talk about Celtic, because I don't get the chance to do it during the week, and it's so just not having that opportunity. My wife was like, "You look like you're depressed." When I came upstairs, when the show was about to start, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Technical problems. It's not going to work." And she's like, "You look upset, literally, that you're not being able." So it was great to get back to it this weekend. So yeah, even though it was just absolutely poor result to talk about, but we move on.
A cauldron of positivity.
That's right. That's right.
I think we made it pretty positive as we could, but
turning around, baby. Nothing but positivity going forward.
David's got a comment in the chat that I'm just
never lose again.
I don't think I can put up right now, just because I think it'll open up a conversation, and I think we need to save that for another day. So.
Now you've got me intrigued.
Yeah.
That's all right, baby.
I'll throw it up real quick. Ready, Chris? Oh, yeah. And we'll talk about it another time. Right? You're right. We have to say that.
No.
My friends.
No comment from Peanut.
But yeah, so thanks for all the guys in the comments tonight. Comments were great, as always. Yep. So yeah, thanks for getting in there. And like I said, it was great being back.
If only Celtic were as committed as we are as fans.
Exactly.
My guy.
So great to get to talk about Celtic again this week. Thanks to Ben and Jason for joining us tonight. good members of our little Celtic therapy session that we're that hopefully it helps some of the people too. So we will be back next week. I know we have Danny from the Garage Boys in Fresno, California, and we have to figure out who the other guy's going to be. We're still working on that. So, but yeah, so I'll let you know. And yeah,
is there a game next Wednesday? I think Celtic are playing Aberdeen. Am I wrong?
Is it Wednesday?
Next Wednesday?
Oh, I think so. That'd be great for us.
I think so. Unless it's being rearranged because we're now in.
Yeah,
Europe.
I didn't look at the schedule, but yeah, that'd be awesome. I like. Brady's trying to push us to talk about it. Nope, sorry. That'll be another time. Zip it up.
Right.
But
cheers,
yeah.
boys.
All right, cheers. We'll see you guys next week.